From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, August 29th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Malicious NX packages leak GitHub, cloud, and AI credentials. A warning from the maintainers of the NX build system of a supply chain attack that allowed threat actors to, quote, publish malicious versions of the popular NPM package and other auxiliary plugins with data gathering capabilities, end quote. Specifically, the packages containing the name Singularity with a digit 1 representing the first I in Singularity contain code that could, quote, scan the file system, collect credentials, and post them to GitHub as a repo under the user's accounts, end quote. This was announced by the maintainers in an advisory published on Wednesday. According to researchers at Wiz, 2,349 distinct credentials were leaked, quote, most of them for GitHub OAuth keys and personal access tokens, followed by API keys and credentials for Google AI, OpenAI, Amazon Web Services, OpenRouter, Anthropic Claude, and Datadog. North Korean remote worker scheme boosted by generative AI. The U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control has announced new sanctions against 2 individuals and 2 entities, quote, for their role in the North Korean remote information technology worker scheme, end quote, in which overseas IT workers embed malware, steal data and credentials, and demand ransoms. A report published Wednesday from Anthropic shows how this operation uses generative AI-powered tools like Claude to create convincing professional backgrounds and technical portfolios, tailor resumes to specific job descriptions, and even deliver actual technical work, end quote. Further to this last point, Anthropic stated, quote, the most striking finding is the actor's complete dependency on AI to function in technical roles. They continue, these operators do not appear to be able to write code, debug problems, or even communicate professionally without Claude's assistance. Yet they're successfully maintaining employment at Fortune 500 companies, according to public reporting, passing technical interviews and delivering work that satisfies their employers. End quote. The Netherlands announces Salt Typhoon penetration. The Ministry of Defense of the Netherlands announced yesterday that it has been targeted by a Chinese cyber espionage campaign tracked as Salt Typhoon and Red Mike. The attacks were not large-scale as compared to other countries, but focused on smaller internet service and hosting providers. Dutch investigators said that, quote, the Chinese hacking organization had access to routers belonging to the Dutch targets, end quote. CISA helps Nevada get back in the game. Following up on a story we covered on Wednesday, CISA has announced that it has been working with the FBI and other agencies to help get the state of Nevada back online while, quote, investigating the origins of the attack and rebuilding systems, end quote. The state asked CISA to send its threat hunting teams to, quote, assist in mitigating any ongoing threats and identify the full scope of the incident, end quote. The agency said it also helped Nevada access incident response grants offered by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. There is no further update as to whether this was a ransomware attack or who was responsible. Huge thanks to our sponsor, Profit Security. Security teams are drowning in alerts. Many companies generate upwards of 1,000 or more alerts a day, and nearly half go ignored. That's where Profit Security comes in. Their AI SOC platform automatically triages and investigates alerts so your team can focus on real threats instead of busy work. Faster response, less burnout, and lower risk to your business. Learn more at profitsecurity.ai, that is PROPHET, security.ai. TransUnion announces data breach. Consumer credit reporting company TransUnion has announced that it, quote, suffered a data breach exposing the personal information of over 4.4 million people in the United States, end quote. It is one of the 3 major credit bureaus in the United States, alongside Equifax and Experian, quote, collecting and maintaining credit information on over 1 billion consumers worldwide, with approximately 200 million of those based in the U.S., end quote. The breach occurred on July 28th and was discovered 2 days later. The company states the incident, quote, involved a third-party application serving the company's consumer support operations, end quote. Data stolen was, in the company's words, limited and did not include credit reports or core credit information. Healthcare Services Group announces 2024 breach. This U.S.-based company that provides housekeeping, laundry, dining, and nutritional services to healthcare facilities, primarily nursing homes, assisted living centers, and hospitals, has stated in a filing to the Maine Attorney General's office that the breach affects more than 620,000 people and occurred between September 27th and October 3rd of last year. Data stolen includes Social Security numbers, driver's license numbers, state identification numbers, financial account information, and full access credentials. No further details about the attack have been disclosed. South Korea Telecom punished for security bungle. Following up on a story we covered in May, South Korea's SK Telecom has been fined the equivalent of $97 million after the country's Privacy Commission found that the mobile giant had, quote, left its network wide open to hackers through a catalog of bungles, end quote. The breach had been announced in April. Hackers had gained access to data belonging to the Universal Subscriber Identity Model, USIM, for almost 27 million subscribers. South Korea's Personal Information Protection Commission said that the country's biggest carrier, quote, did not even implement basic access controls between its internet-facing systems and internal management network, end quote. It added that SKT, quote, failed at almost every layer of defense, end quote. This includes dumping thousands of server credentials in plain text on a management network server. A more complete accounting of this incident is available as a link in the show notes to this episode. CrowdStrike makes acquisitions to boost autonomous threat detection capabilities. On Wednesday, CrowdStrike announced plans to acquire data pipeline management provider Onum, O-N-U-M. This, it says, forms, quote, part of its goal to enhance the Falcon Next-Gen SIM platform with autonomous detection capabilities, given that traditional SIMs cannot keep up with the large volume of data, end quote. CrowdStrike President Michael Santonis, announcing the acquisition in a blog post, says the move will help analysts who must currently sift through the noise manually, as well as security teams who must decide between options, such as shrinking data retention windows or leaving out certain data sources in order to reduce data storage costs. Just a reminder, there is no Super Cyber Friday happening today, but don't go anywhere yet. Join us later today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern for our Week in Review show. Jonna Till-Johnson, CEO and founder of Nemertis, and author of an excellent newsletter, by the way, will be our guest, providing her always insightful commentary on the news of the week. And we encourage participation and comments through our YouTube live channel. Just go to the events page at cisoseries.com to register. And if you have any thoughts on the news from today or about the show in general, please be sure to reach out to us at feedback@cisoseries.com. We would love to hear from you. I'm Steve Prentice, reporting for the CISO Series.
Cybersecurity headlines are available every weekday. Head to cisoseries.com for the full stories behind the headlines.